All right, welcome back. So
We're back.
we're back. We couldn't help ourselves. So for
I'm gonna
those,
turn this
yeah,
like just like a hair.
while she's scoping or churning things out there.
There we go.
So welcome back. For those who missed it, my name's Ed Troxel. I'm your creative consultant, helping you think outside the box. This is,
Ciara, hello.
and we basically just finished a scope a few minutes ago, talking about feedback and follow up and follow through. And so we ended the scope because we were going to start talking about Ciara's basically clothing line.
My new T-shirt line.
Yes, so we were going to talk.
Needed his feedback.
Exactly, we were going to talk about. I was going to give her some feedback on what she needed to know based off of her designs and stuff. And so we haven't even made it yet to that part because
We got caught up in conversation.
We did.
So we got caught up in conversation. Like, this is really scope. Like, people really should be like hearing this. So we're gonna just continue what we were talking about.
So this is how it works. We're just started talking, and I'm like thinking in my head, I'm so addicted to scoping because I want you guys to know and hear what's going on so that you can
Conversation.
be educated, and share and be motivated as well. So we're going to talk more about this in a second. Real quick housekeeping for those who are new. If you slide to the right on an iPhone, you can hit share, and this will share out the broadcast so that your friends can see it as well. If you tap on the screen right there, those will show hearts. There you go. Show some love. I call it Scope Love, so if you want, you can do hashtag Scope Love, and if you want to take it one step further, you can put your initials at the end. Then at the bottom, you can also type in comments. Love to hear who's watching, where you're watching from, maybe what you do as well. And then if you put your name in bold to the side, hello. Then we know we can say your name out loud without having to squint a little bit. So basically what we were talking about and got distracted was we were talking about the fear of social media and being on camera, and really it didn't even talk about so much the camera part. It's just the fear of being online, and thank you for those hearts, and being vulnerable, basically, which is a topic we've been talking about.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's exactly it. It's vulnerability.
So I'm going to let you take over on this one because
Okay.
this was great that we just talked about that and kind of like where you're at and what you feel, because what she's going to tell you guys is the reason why I wanted us to scope again, because this is exactly how I felt and how a lot of you are feeling as well. And I guarantee you, your friends who maybe are on Periscope or haven't even heard of Periscope yet. So go ahead, take it off.
Well, we were talking about getting into social media, and our generation, this millennial generation, if you watched the last podcast, I talked about a podcast called Millennial, and you need to listen to it. Megan Tan, she's amazing. So listen to her, follow her on her platforms. She's great. But what she's doing is she's using social media, which is her podcast, that's like her main source, to start a community, but have a conversation and be vulnerable out loud, like with people, because that's how you grow as a person. It is. It's how you grow as a person. You can't be guarded and you still grow. And so the conversation that we were just having was about like my fear with social media, which is, am I using it too much? Am I overloading the people that are on here? Like, I just went to Mexico and I was like, oh, I have all these really beautiful artistic photos that I took, and I like posted them, but I was very, very strategic about it. Like, I would be like, how many did I post today? Okay, well, I have Wi-Fi, so I'll post 3 in this hour and maybe 1 more later, but I don't want to like have people's stuff on there all the time. So it's
Yes.
hard to, yes, exactly. So for me, I don't want people to think what I'm doing on social media is to promote just me and like having all these selfies on here, and like, yeah, there's a balance to everything. However, social media is how our generation connects. That's how we talk. That's how we learn. So use it. Like that's the main part about this, is like understanding what our resources can give to us and using them appropriately for what we need to do. We talk about this every day.
Yeah.
This is how we communicate. So for me, being on Twitter, I'm just getting back into Twitter. Let's see, how much posted? Too much. On IG, I feel the same way. However, I had to stop following Rihanna a long time ago because it was like, okay, Riri, like, I got it. She's so beautiful. Of course you want her on your feed, but it was too much.
And here's the thing,
It was too
Jessica,
much.
to answer on Instagram, for those who don't know what IG are, because let's be real, there may not be everyone who's 20 and 30 on here, but
That'll be a link in his little bio. Don't worry.
So before I get to that last comment, just to let you know, anything that we cover that needs a link, for instance, Ciara's Twitter handle or anything like that, we will provide on my website in Scope School. So it's edtruxelcreative.com, and that's where I have a school. It's called Scope School, where I will add things to this broadcast over there so that you have one spot to find everything that we talk about. That will have links and stuff like that. And like I was saying, it doesn't matter your age. So that's why I want to point out, like, IG stands for Instagram. For those who are not in their 20s or 30s, it's okay. The fact that you're on here is awesome, and I'm so pumped with that. Facebook does well for middle-aged women. Yeah, it does.
Sure. For
Facebook,
everyone, if you use it right.
Exactly, yeah. And so the thing with the different social platforms is that you got Facebook, which is basically kind of like your tight-knit friends, family, and you just post whatever. And you can post as much as you want throughout the day, although sometimes if you're just constantly on the same thing, that really gets annoying. But it's more socially acceptable there.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's a really good way to say it. More socially acceptable.
Then you have Instagram, which is still, it's a visual platform, so it has to be visual. It has to be crisp content. If you're looking for more information, also on my website, which I'm not trying to plug that, I'm trying to plug being educating you and getting you the resources you need.
We want you to go to his website.
Yeah, I have an ebook there with 7 tips to help you understand Instagram and to do a better job on Instagram. But basically talking about those different posts, like on Instagram, yes, you can't be as frequent on there in terms of your posts. A couple a day is fine. You do want to be posting at least once a day, so that way your information's getting out there. And posting a couple times a day is great.
Quality though.
Exactly.
Quality. Even if it's a lot, it's quality.
Quality over quantity, guys. Then when you take it over here to Twitter, Twitter is a conversation, so it's like this. So you're constantly just keeping up.
Ping pong back and forth with 140 characters. Like,
yes, which is annoying.
For me, I'm wordy.
Yeah.
I'm wordy.
Me too.
It's hard for me. It's a struggle every day.
Yeah. So, and then you got Periscope here, which is so addicting. And
I can be wordy here.
You can. And you can scope as much as you like, because guess what? That's the whole game here. They're only on here for 24 hours. They can save to your camera roll, which we can always cover that topic more later. But that's the beauty of this stuff, and that's the beauty of why, for instance, I was just talking to Sarah about this morning. I posted on my Instagram, for people on there to go scope over here to scope me out. But I put a reasoning of why I was asking them to leave Instagram for a second to come over to Periscope, because you don't want to ask somebody to leave what they're doing to come over to see you here and then ask them to leave here and go to see you over there. That's not okay. So I posted on my Instagram, for those who didn't see, telling them to come over here to see Scope, but I put the reasoning behind it. I want to help teach them and interact with them more, and I can do that here on Periscope versus on Instagram, because I only got 15 seconds, and you can't do a whole lot in 15 seconds. At least we can't, because we're going to talk as much as we can.
But also to cross platforms, like, gives a different dynamic and complexity to your conversation. So we're here, we're able to, like, connect with you and talk with you and, like, be a community and have a dialogue, even though it's just like these chatterboxes talking. But then
commenting,
you can comment, and, like, if we're not in mid conversation, we can, like, respond to you, which is really cool. But even if you're here on a different device, or even if you leave here for a second and you go over to Twitter, you can be on Twitter, tweet at us, and we can then be in a conversation with you here. So it's crossing platforms to be able to use that dynamic attribute to social media, which is why social media is so great, because it's so dynamic and layered. It's great. I love it.
And that's the beauty of this, and that's why Again, it doesn't matter what your age is, it just matters that you're wanting to learn and you want to be educated. And that's the cool thing about Periscope. And if you're looking for people to follow, stick with us, and we'll keep bringing you new people. And like I said, on my Scope School, I have a list of 10 people so far that you should be following. But also, more importantly, it's the comment section. That's where I want your feedback, and I want you to start talking in there and trying to put in people that you follow or that you have noticed on here, so that we can build a list, we can build a community, so that everyone can benefit from it, because it's all about teamwork and really being successful from that together for that. And going back to, like, you were talking about the fear of social media, and, like, we're talking about all these different platforms, and you got to be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter. I already said that. LinkedIn, all
you
that.
have to be on them all the time. Yeah. So yes, it's going to be Twitter, Instagram, back to Twitter, Periscope.
It's overwhelming. I know. You don't have to be on every single platform every single minute of the day. Here's the thing. Pick 1 to maybe 3 that you want to kill it on, and you really, really do it. She laughs at me when I do that.
1 to maybe 3.
It's because, like we said, Facebook is, a friends, family type thing, where then you got Twitter and these other ones that are more open to the public. And so you really just have to pick a couple that you're really going to kill it on and just go for it and do it,
I understand why you like it. Like, I like Instagram because I'm a visual person, and so I took a really long break. If you actually, when you follow me on Twitter,
yes,
I've only got a few. I just am getting back into Twitter because I needed to take a break from it. That's because of him. I needed to take a break from it. I was following a lot of people that were kind of muddying my feed. I talked about this in the last scope. And I wasn't getting anything from it. It was just kind of, every time I would be on, I'd be like, I guess I gotta check Twitter. And I was like, I don't need this social media to be. Twitter is crowded. Exactly. Which is why I follow very few people. I understand what I'm using Twitter for. Follow me all you want, but you follow me, I will look and I will stalk you. I will stalk you. I want to know what's coming in my feed, and that's okay to do. That's just like understanding, like, I know I like Ed because he does great. He's great motivator. We have great conversation. Like, I know what he brings into my life. So it's the same thing with the social media. It's just an extension of what you can do in person,
It's a great point.
Favorite Twitter handle. That's a
no. What's your Twitter handle?
It's too small. It's too small.
Thank
My
you for
Twitter
those hearts.
handle. Mine is CIARALYNSEY. It'll be in his bio on his website. So you can check at Scope School. So you'll be able to see me there. And also, if you follow him, he's like tweeted about me, and I'm in there and stuff.
Yeah. In fact, if you slide to the right, you can see my bio there. My little circle with my face in there.
Or is it this way for them?
No, it still should be right. Yeah. Okay. So swipe right. She's still learning. We haven't got her to. This is actually first scope, right? I mean, second today. But first day ever scoping. So it's awesome. And as you can tell, I got so pumped off of this. Like, I am totally my normal self, which is great.
Oh yeah, this is Ed all the time.
And that's what I've told you guys before, is that I'm trying to bring my real life to online, because that's how we're going to interact. That's how we're going to really become good teammates, and I'm going to help you succeed. Because I want you to see that energy. Up for an Android. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So for those who have Androids, yes, you slide up on those, and then
that's great information. This is exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about how to use our technology with each other, and we can use separate devices. I don't care if you use Android, as long as you know how you use your technology. Great.
Exactly.
You invited followers here?
Thank you.
So nice. Thank you.
Like I said, this is what it's all about. We can come up with show topics all day long. I mean, I have a long list of different topics that I want to cover in different interviews, which I'm going to have more people on here. But it's up to you guys to help us interact and to really drive those conversations.
We need you.
Yeah, because what were we talking about earlier about just being the presenter and interacting, like, at the beginning?
So many things we talked about.
Yeah, it was like the fact that, you were talking about where it's not just us being here.
Oh, sure.
It's us.
Yeah, it's us, like, interacting and, like, being a part.
Yeah, and we were talking about the reason also why we got distracted again was we were talking about just wanting to educate people and really bring our knowledge level to you and help you. It's not a popularity contest. It's about helping you get the info you need, not what you want. So I'm going to give you what you need, but I'm not going to give you what you want.
Everyone wants to hear something. It's usually not the best thing for them. And just we may not be, like, I'm not an authority on a lot of things, but I do know I do know a lot that you may not know, and you know a lot that I don't know, and that's what a community is. That's what a community's conversation should be, and that's why we need more people talking, because it's just our faces on here.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we look great, and this lighting's great on us, but that's really what it's about. And yes, the number of followers go hand in hand. That's just a given, but that's not what we're about. We're about really helping you get to where you need to be. I mean, that's basically what my job is.
And I want to be there too.
Yeah. and we
You're
want
gonna
to
help me get
share.
where I want to go too.
Exactly. Well, that's my job, is to be your creative consultant, help you, motivate you, inspire you,
I came up
and
with
do
that.
better. Yeah.
I came up with that name for him.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Creative consultant.
And so just really getting you pumped up and educated and helping you. How will you handle the overflow of our questions? So that's great. So like the more you ask questions and the more people commenting, it will start building up, and we'll try to keep up with you. I've been on some...
Go on Twitter.
Yeah. I've been on some scopes, like yesterday with Coach Glitter's scope. If you're not following her, you should.
Follow her.
It's amazing. Again, that's in my scope school for the direct link, as well as others for the top 10 people you should be following right now. And you should be adding in the comments who you want others to follow. But really, it is, because it's trying to build that community. But really, when the Coach Glitter is amazing.
Good.
Yes, I love that you know her. On Twitter,
Good.
Excellent, good. Find us, tweet us, and share out,
That's
the
top.
information. So you'll see that the comments, as you start typing more, they're going to keep building up. So yesterday I was on a scope that got so pumped off of with Coach Glitter. She had a networking scope, and there's probably over 100 people there. And I mean, literally the screen was filled up to here with comments, and it was just going so fast. She couldn't read them as quickly, and I couldn't even read them as quickly as I was typing as well. There's a lot of multitasking going on. You have to be okay with that, and just know that it's going to be overwhelming, but you're going to do fine. Just keep up with it. And the fact that she had all these people talking about who they are, what they do, and trying to sell themselves without selling themselves was amazing. And so it's just, that's what the community is about. And then afterwards, I got to engage with her over on Twitter and talk about that. So that's the beauty, is that cross-platform, being able to talk with each other and ask and just comment, things like that. Whether you're on here directly, you're watching the replay on this, or you're catching us over on Twitter, it's all great. And then, yes, so that right there, that comment for those who are seeing, she just replied. So when you want to reply to somebody that's said a comment, we didn't cover this before, but when you tap on someone who makes a comment, it will show you their reply to them. You can also see their profile, or you can
guys
walk
are talking. We're bringing people together.
Love it. I love it.
Do it.
This is good. This is a great scope, guys. And that's what it's all about, quality over quantity, and really just helping have that successful teamwork with each other to get us going on there. I love it.
Motivating. You guys
Yeah.
are super motivating. I'm stoked.
So, anyway, we love you guys. It's been awesome. Continue to do more, and thank you for inviting people on here. That really does mean a lot to me, because for those who have watched previous scopes, like way back when I started, like a couple weeks ago, because Periscope's still new.
Way back.
Way back in the day, because social media, everything's like way back, right?
It does happen really quickly. Yeah.
So for those who have seen my previous scopes way back in the day, thanks from Tennessee. I don't know if you actually know where we're at right now.
Santa Rosa, California.
Yeah, wine country. And anybody know wine country out there, or is in Northern California? Heart it up.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like fancier than
I know.
we think, I guess.
And in fact, yesterday I was
pretty cool.
actually going to try to do a scope out in the vineyards because I really wanted you guys to see how beautiful it was. But in San Diego, Jessica, yes.
Jessica.
I've been there once so far.
Oh, I just came back from there, and it's one of my favorite places ever.
Yeah. The first time I went to Del Mar, and it was awesome, and that was a couple months ago, and I can't wait to go back down there and explore more. But I wanted to do a scope yesterday in the vineyards just so you guys could see, but of course, reception's really bad out in the country when you're like way out there.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen, obviously. But it's great that you guys are commenting right there and also shouting out where you're at, because here's the beauty: when you start doing that, you start realizing who's near you, and then you might be able to take the online,
Networking.
offline. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Networking. And that's the whole point. I'm glad you agree, because that's what it's about. Is we can't be everywhere. We can't be in Tennessee. We can't be in San Diego and be here. And we have to be here. We got other things that we have to do, and other people we got to connect with.
He's got to work later.
Yeah.
Have the day off.
So, and of course I'm always working. Like last night, for instance.
It's normally me.
Last night I was like ready to just chill out and relax, right? Go turn on Netflix for once, because, I just wanted to tune out. I made it as far as the couch, and then I got the computer, and I started to tweet and do all this other stuff, which is fine. It's fun for me. I don't consider it work. I enjoy it, but it's one of those moments where you're like, I thought I was going to disconnect for a second and it just enjoy nothing, you know, on Netflix, but it didn't.
Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later. So let's see. I found you through Coach Glitter, I
that's
think.
cool.
Nice. I'm so happy you did that. Yes.
That's awesome. See, this is the kind of connection, and like, this is great.
I love that, and I love
cool.
that you pointed that out. Thank you. Again, it ties back into that feedback, right? Like, you're sharing that information of how you found me, which is great because that's how I've found a lot of cool people and have been interacting with each other. You know, fortunately enough, I've known this person in person, so I didn't have to do it online. But that's why I also wanted to bring it to online. And I'm glad that you're new. And also, the title attracted you. Thank you for that feedback. Yes, that is what I'm talking about, because that's what we want. That's what we need, and that's specifically what I need too, because let me tell you, I think of the great titles after I've talked on the scope, which obviously you can't do because you have to put a title in first. Always put a title in. Don't leave it untitled. And then you do the scope. So for me, it's hard because I have so much I want to say, and when you have somebody like this and you're interacting with each other, we cover so much more. So then afterwards, you're like, oh, I would have loved to put that title as the scope. That totally would have resonated more with people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that happens. But you gotta live and you learn.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this, guys, is to just keep doing it and keep trying, and to keep interacting with each other. Even if you're not scoping, which I highly recommend you do, but even if you're not, just commenting and hearting it up on the screen, that's huge right there. And then that gets you pumped. So I would love to keep going. I could do this all day long, really. I really could. And we could just post this up in the side, and then we could just carry on our way. But unfortunately, we do have to go because I really need to help her, give her some feedback.
Need some feedback.
We really need to, focus. So I am so stoked and so happy. Make money and enjoy what you do. Thank you. Yes, it is. I have a really good, healthy work-life balance, I gotta say. I'm so appreciative of the life I have and the work and the people I have. But we are in Santa Rosa, California, so it is Northern California, wine country, north of San Francisco. So I just got to tell you, you got to be appreciative of what you have, and you got to surround yourself with good people, because
good environment.
It is, and it's all teamwork. There's no way I could be where I'm at now if I didn't have good people in my life and people helping me get to where I needed to go. So just remember that, and that's why we are doing this scope, and that's why I'm going to continue to do scopes. We've actually been talking already about trying to do a weekly scope together. Again, depending on schedule-wise, we'll try to work that out. But schedule, timing, all that. But we really want to try to do this on a regular basis because we just have fun together, and I think it's just really going to help benefit you guys. So
motivate you to have good conversation, like the one that's going on down here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing you too. Like, I really am. But you guys that are talking now, when we leave, you guys can either talk to each other on your phones, or you can go onto Twitter, or you can say something on a DM and use the social media to connect even further. And you don't need us always, but I'm glad that we brought you back together.
Yes, exactly. And I love that. So, keep doing the work that you do. Keep checking us out. We hope that we can continue to inspire you together and both individually as well. We posted some good photos on both of our Twitters from our earlier scope, which was fun. And Instagrams, yes. So those are our, well, at least for me, Instagram and Twitter and now Periscope are my big three. Again,
I'm on Tumblr too, but that's mostly my artwork, which is what I need his feedback on. So we gotta go soon, but it's gonna be all my stuff. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, all the same handle.
Wyatt Bravo, keep scoping. That's all I can tell you is to keep scoping.
Just keep doing it.
It's going to get better. The confidence level that you see right now, the real me, has grown because I put a goal to do it every day, and that's what got me to this point.
And then he had follow through.
Thank you.
You gotta continue to do it. You gotta actually do it and not be afraid of yourself. The worst thing that's gonna happen is that someone doesn't like it, and then you change it. You use the feedback.
Exactly.
That's it.
And yes, for those who are on Instagram, please follow us. We're both on there. Mine's at Ed Troxel Creative. That's TROXELL. And you can also swipe right or up on an Android, and you'll see my last name is there. But Ed Troxel Creative on Instagram. And
And then all my stuff will be on his bio, but it's Ciara Lynsey, Ciaralynsey.
Yeah, and so we're going to go. I'd love to keep this going, but we really got to get some work done. And so if you need to follow up, I should have the show notes up on Scope School on my website, edtroxelcreative.com. By the end of the day, I will try to do it this morning, but it depends on how much time we got. So keep going. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to hanging out with you guys more and seeing what you guys start doing too. So if you need anything else, hit me up on Twitter. Otherwise, you can find all this information by the end of the day over on our Scope School on my website. Take care, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.